Hello everyone, I am Laethas and welcome back again for another video. Today I have my manga haul for the month of November 2019, and this one is going to be a little smaller than normal, but that being said, we still have a decent number of volumes here to check out and some good series as well. So without further ado, let's get right into this. To start off with, I have a new series put out by 7 Seas. It's only 3 volumes long, and this is volume 1 of Wonderful Days, or Our Wonderful Days by Tsurezure Biyori. Now, this is a short 3-volume Yuri series. It's pretty innocent, so nothing too sexual or graphic involved in this one. It's mostly just about these 2 girls' lives, or at least from this first volume. I didn't realize it was so short until after I'd already read it, so I'm just gonna wait for volumes 2 and 3 to finish reading it, but it is short and sweet. And aside from that, there isn't really a whole lot else that's different than a lot of Yuri series out there. It doesn't do a ton to differentiate itself from others. It doesn't really stand out in my opinion, but I still enjoy the series nonetheless, and if you are a fan of Yuri series, then I would recommend checking this one out. Next up, I have Horomia Volume 8. This is a rom-com of sorts. I've read volumes 1 through 4. I have been enjoying it thus far, though I do think I'm going to enjoy reading this one more volume to volume, but it is pretty standard for a romantic comedy. Characters meet each other by coincidence and just kind of hit things off from there. Nothing too special, at least thus far, but it's mostly about how the 2 main love interests have kind of different personas they kind of emphasize when they're at school with their friends and stuff, as opposed to when they get home and they feel more relaxed and comfortable. But this is volume 8 of Horomia. If you're looking for a romantic comedy series, I would give this one a go. Next up, I have the 10th and final volume of Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl. This is, of course, the final volume of this series. For that reason, I'm not going to open it up, because I don't want spoilerinos being broadcast all over the place. But yes, this is the final volume of Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl. For those who are unaware of this series, it is a Yuri series, mostly focusing on different couples. There's kind of one main couple, but for the most part, the series spends its time per volume, usually bouncing between different couples. Depending on who you are, that may be a plus or a negative. I personally like when stories tend to focus on one couple, but I still enjoy this series nonetheless, and I'm excited to see this final volume, so I will be wrapping this series up very shortly. But yeah, now this series is complete at its 10th volume. Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl. Next up, I have another Yuri title. I actually picked up a surprising amount of these this month. There have been a lot of new ones coming out this month, but that is A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow by Makoto Hagino. This one is put out by Viz Media, so the volumes themselves are not as expensive as some other publishers' volumes. As for this series, I think it's going to go in a really nice direction. It's hard to say really from the beginning, but it's mostly about these 2 girls who are in their school's aquarium club, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. They have a bunch of aquariums and aquatic creatures that they kind of take care of and show off during school festivals and that kind of thing. And the series is about the relationship between the 2 cover characters. Thus far, I have really been enjoying the series. I should probably give it a little bit more screen time for the art. I did enjoy this one more than Our Wonderful Days, and this one is a little bit longer. It's still ongoing in Japan at, I think, 6 or 7 volumes, I want to say. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. Can't wait for more volumes to come out. If you're a Yuri fan, highly recommend checking out this series. And if you're just a fan of romance in general, I think this is a pretty good one as well. But that is A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow Volume 1. And next up, I have the 11th and final volume of The Water Dragon's Bride. This is a series by Rei Toma. Some of you may know her as the mangaka behind Dawn of the Arcana, another good shoujo series that I would recommend checking out. But because this is the 11th volume, I'm not going to be opening it up again, spoiler reasons, but I can finally begin reading this series. When I initially read the first volume, I really liked it. I liked her other work, Dawn of the Arcana, so I just decided to wait for the rest of the series to come out. Now that it has, I can finally start reading this series. Let me know if you'd like me to do a review on this series once I have read it. I know I haven't had too many reviews up on the channel for a long time, but I would like to start getting back into doing more reviews and first impressions as opposed to just really doing the manga hauls. But I am excited to be getting back into this one. I can't really say much about the series since I've only read the first volume, but I am definitely anticipating enjoying this series a lot, and I cannot wait to begin reading this one. But that is The Water Dragon's Bride, Volume 11. And next up, I have another Yuri title, this one put out by Tokyo Pop, and that is Still Sick, Volume 1, and it is about a doujin artist who meets her fellow co-worker whose identity is also someone else, but that identity is a little bit spoilery, so I'm not going to say it right here. But anyway, she's kind of nervous about her co-worker finding out about her habits, but her co-worker is actually pretty cool with it, and so they start kind of going out and getting along with one another. And this series is mostly about kind of their interactions. There isn't really a whole lot of a Yuri aspect in it yet, so it may just be hinted at, and that's kind of all there is. Don't really know yet. There's only 2 volumes of this series out thus far. Of course, only one is put out in English. I found this one okay. I'm not super into it quite yet, but that obviously could change. I do like more Yuri series related to adults as opposed to just being in high school, but it's mostly just been hinted at, and the story thus far has mostly just been about this one person's doujin works and her interactions with her coworker. Not really much of a romantic interest yet. Nonetheless, I will be picking up the second volume, and just before we go, I am going to show a little bit of the art, as you can see right there. And yeah, that is Still Sick Volume 1. Next up, I have Blank Canvas, My So-Called Artist Journey, Volume 3 by Akiko Hiyashimura. This is the same mangaka behind, I believe, Princess Jellyfish and Tokyo Tarareba Girls. This is kind of her autobiographical work about kind of becoming a manga artist. So it is pretty interesting. I've read the first 2 volumes. Not really a series for everyone, but if you are interested in sort of autobiographical works, I would recommend checking this one out. Obviously, as kind of a biography, it is going to be a little bit hit or miss, depending on who you are. I have been reading this one volume to volume. I have been enjoying it thus far, and can't wait to read this volume. And not really a whole lot else to say. It's an autobiography, so I don't really know what else to talk about, but yeah, that is Blank Canvas Volume 3. Next up, I have Seki Rea Volume 10, 365 Days Without Her. I think this is kind of like a side story volume that takes place after the main series, so it's kind of the sequel, kind of not. Yen Press just kind of published it as the 10th volume. Though it is kind of standard size. It's a little bit thicker than most volumes, I think, for singles, that is. Yet to really get into this one. I've seen both seasons of the Seki Rea anime. I enjoyed those for what they were, and so I will be reading this now that it is completely complete. I read the first volume, enjoyed that, so I've just been kind of collecting them up from there. But I believe this is the side story. It's in Saran wrap, so can't really open it up, but the artwork is pretty similar to what you see on the cover, as is typically the case. It's just not colored, as most manga tend not to be, but this is the 10th and final volume of Seki Rea, or at least the other ones are omnibuses. This one's a single. I think this is kind of a sequel-esque type thing, side story volume, but yeah. Volume 10 of Seki Rea. Next up, I have Prison School Volume 14, or Omnibus Volume 14. I have been reading this series since I last left off, since I got this volume. Another final volume, so I don't really want to show the artwork to avoid spoilers again. Sorry about that. But this series is an absurdist comedy series. You're either you're gonna hate it. There's definitely a chance for that one. Definitely do your research on this. I can't go over literally everything that's in here, but the comedy is absurdist in nature. The characters are crazy and insane. They misunderstand ways in the ways that anime characters do, so crazy shenanigans transpires. But yeah, it's fun. I think I've come to the conclusion that it's alright for me, but I have been enjoying it to a degree. It's not my favorite series. There are definitely comedy series that I enjoy more than this one, but it's alright. Yeah, it's absurdist, so it is a little bit different than what I typically read. Yeah, that is the 14th and final omnibus for Prison School. Next up, I have the second and final volume of Ryuko by Titan Comics. Again, another final volume, so I'm not going to open it up, but I haven't yet cracked into this series. I was waiting for this one to come out before getting into it, and I got it pretty recently, so I have yet to actually get into it. Can't really say much about it, so I don't really want to be spreading misinformation, but I am interested in getting into this series. Let me know if you would like to hear my thoughts and opinions on this one after I have completed it. But this is the second and final volume of Ryuko by Eldo Yoshimizu. And last up for this haul, we have Aria, the Masterpiece, Volume 4. I believe there's only 3 more of these volumes to come out, and they are very, very nice releases by Tokyo Pop. Aria, just very, very calming work. Just take a look at the artwork there. I've read Volume 1, really, really liked it, although it's not technically Aria, it's the prequel series, Aqua, but oh well, I really liked it, and I'm just waiting for the rest of the series to come out to read more. As I've said before, these Masterpiece editions are quite nice, and if you're looking to be picking up this series, these are definitely very nice additions, especially since the old singles are out of print, so your best bet is to just go with these nice Masterpiece editions. But from what I have read, it is a series about these girls, and they are captains of gondolas, and they take people around the city, and it's nice, quiet, and calming, and very soothing. Just something to read and relax to, similar in nature to something like Flying Witch, though I should probably say Flying Witch is similar to this, because this came first, but oh well, if you're looking for something quiet and calm to read, definitely pick up Aria. The characters are fun and interesting, and it's just a very relaxing work to get into, but that is the 4th Masterpiece collection for Aria, and these are 2-in-1 volumes. And that will do it for my manga haul for the month of November 2019. Let me know what you thought of the series that I hauled this month. Let me know what series you picked up this month before the holiday season really kicks in. And yeah, just let me know all your thoughts on the series I hauled. What series did you haul? What are you enjoying? Are you enjoying the series that I hauled? Do you want to hear my opinions on them? All that kind of stuff, leave down below in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and share, and if you'd like to keep up to date with all of my content, you can either subscribe to the channel and ring that notifications bell, or follow me on Twitter. There's a link to that in the description down below, as well as any other questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them down in the comment section down below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my manga haul for the month of November 2019. I am Laethas. Goodbye.